The Beanie Bubble stars Zach Galifianakis, Elizabeth Banks, Sarah Snook, and Geraldine Viswanathan. A behind-the-scenes look at one of the biggest speculative crazes that blazed through American culture in the 90s. The Beanie Bubble in select theaters on July 21st, streaming exclusively on Apple TV Plus July 28th. Rated R.
I'm going to say something scandalous, Ronnie.
Go on.
Plants are meat. And not only are they meat, they're delicious. Especially if they're from Impossible Foods.
They taste like beef.
Exactly. Impossible is making meat history this summer.
Yeah, they are. Summer of Impossible.
I am so excited to be spending time cooking my summer foods, all that good stuff. And guess what? We can use Impossible sausages, Impossible brats. I mean, it's going to be a great summer for Impossible Foods.
Impossible beef is made from plants and 19 grams of protein per serving, and it's better for the planet.
And it's meat.
Plant meat, correct. So if you're looking for something to grab for your grill, grab some Impossible beef.
Summer of Impossible.
Start making meat history today. Just head over to the meat aisle at your local grocery store, grab some Impossible beef or patties, and get grilling. Introducing the new Audible original Breakthrough.
The genre-redefining audio-only series that strips away the superficial to reaffirm what matters most. Pure talent.
Featuring celebrity judges Kelly Rowland, Sarah Bareilles, and host David Diggs.
Hear every step of the musical journey as 5 undiscovered musicians battle through a series of high-stakes singing and songwriting challenges for one top spot.
As musically gifted as they are artistically unique, each finalist is driven by the same dream, to become music's next must-listen.
But to break through, they'll have to dig deep, pushing their vocal, songwriting, and recording chops to their absolute limits while keeping their feet and emotions firmly grounded.
So, who will break through? It's time to find out.
Join Kelly, Sarah, and David on a musical journey unlike anything you've ever seen.
This is Breakthrough.
Listen on Audible or wherever you get your podcasts.
Go to audible.com/breakthrough.
Follow along using hashtag BreakthroughXAudible. There's so much that happens. Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens?
Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast for all that crap we love to talk about on heel bras. I'm Ronnie. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. And please welcome the gorgeous and talented Ben Mandelker. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hi. Everybody go to Substack and subscribe to Ben's NBD Fancy.
Oh.
It's a food blog. It's a fantastic food blog. Also, go look at us on the TikTok and the Instagrams and all of that good stuff. Okay? It's just content nonstop. Also, welcome to Real Housewives of Orange County Day and happy Real Housewives of New York week. It's just been a busy week over here. We've had an onslaught of content coming at you. So thank you. If you're hearing Real Housewives of Orange County and you're like, oh my God, where's Real Housewives of Atlanta? There's been 18 recaps since then. It's there.
Yes, it's there. And this is, again, like if you're not subscribed, if you're just like checking in on this, like you followed a link on social media or something, definitely go subscribe because there is a lot of content. And the best way to keep track of it all is just subscribe. And then that way it'll all be on whatever podcast application you're using.
Yeah, so do that. Also, we are on video as usual, patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens if you guys want to watch us there. We're also on YouTube a week later if you want those, but don't want to pay. We don't blame you. Go over there. Our bonus episodes are super fun on Patreon too. We did an Amazon Prime shopping day last week, and this week we did a follow-up on all the products.
Yeah.
It's our it's our tribute to capitalism. So everybody join us for that. Yeah. And today, Real Housewives of Orange County, season 17, episode 7. Oh, Nobu, you didn't. Mm-hmm.
Such a good episode. Oh my God, I loved it. I love that Orange County is really like firing on all cylinders right now. I was really enthralled by everything that happened here.
Well, so is the show. And they think that they think that people are just coming into the show. I don't know, but they're doing that fade to black, fade up, as if someone has been killed and we're going to see the aftermath. And then 3 months before, they're doing that Bravo thing where it's like, zoom, fade up. Mm-hmm. Something horrible's happening. Fade down, fade up. We see the seeds of it happening months ago. Usually they do that for a big fist fight or I don't know, murder, something like that. But this time it's Gina and Emily having lunch, and I just love the balls of this show to take the two most boring characters and try to make the most interesting fade to black and fade back up of all time. And I have to say, it kind of worked.
Yeah, and by the way, I really applaud Emily Simpson on this episode because she missed the cast trip because of a COVID result, and she just worked overtime to just stir shit up with everyone, and that was great. Like, she did some great work this week. I was like, you know what, you have earned your orange. I'm not sure about Gina. Someone on our Patreon, I believe, proposed a theory that the producers were generating fake COVID results for Gina and Emily to test what the chemistry is like without them at big events, which I love that theory. I'm all about it.
One without the other.
Yeah, like, do we need to have both? Can we just have one? How does this go? So love thinking that might actually be a reality.
It is a very good theory. And guess what? It doesn't matter. We don't need them together, which I think is, if they are doing that, that's what we've discovered in all of this, is we don't need them. And they're actually kind of better when they're apart. We saw Gina completely losing it and falling apart last week without Emily. And we saw Emily more generally have a good time without having to deal with Gina. Then we saw this episode, them ganging up together against someone. And I don't like when they do that. I really don't. Sometimes I like a good gang up. I don't like it from them. I'll also say Emily is great. She's a great shit stir. I think she's actually really funny too. And I think she's kind of the Greek chorus of the cast. I will give her credit for all that. I like Emily a lot better than Gina. That said, the thing that kills me about Emily are her home scenes. I think they're terrible. They're boring. This whole thing with your mom is stupid.
Emily is never.
But we also saw the exact same thing in 2019, and you want me to still worry about you crying when you've done nothing since 2019 to fix this relationship? Like, lady, and your daughter being a model, don't give a fuck. And Shane coming home from work, don't care. Okay, I don't even like your dogs, and I love dogs. So
Emily's home stuff is not great. Gina's home stuff is not great. That's actually always been the thing that has really undermined them, is that their home life is not interesting. I mean, the truth is that most Real Housewives' home lives are actually not that fascinating, which is fine. But there's just something about Emily and Gina that just their home life just is really, really unappealing. And, you know, if I had to choose one, it would be hard. I think I would lean towards Emily because Gina is very stupid. And so that's a big asset on a show like this because the stupidity creates chaos and that generates a lot of, you know, forward momentum in group scenes. But then Emily is a good shit stirrer and she's funny and that also helps. So I don't really know which one I pick. But yeah, their home lives are just really abysmal. And I think that we just should never see their home lives anymore.
Yeah, but like, whose are great? They all kind of suck, right? Like Heather's scenes aren't great. Tamara's home scenes aren't great. This show isn't really doing well because of home scenes. Although I do like Shannon's.
Shannon's home scenes are great. There's always like a sense of spiraling.
Yeah.
Heather's are good too because they're always so obnoxious that I always wind up laughing.
Okay, yeah. I mean, listen, if you're into that sort of thing, it's not my kink, but if you're into obnoxious, I mean, Heather definitely gives obnoxious. It to you, you know?
Yeah.
If Heather was fisting, if obnoxiousness was fisting, Heather would be sitting on a cone?
Heather, no, I think that Heather
like a traffic cone?
Would have would she be the fister? Or would she be the fisty?
She's Heather, but if fisting is the kink, but obnoxious is her kink. And fisting is, if obnoxiousness was a kink, like fisting, and obnoxiousness is your kink, then you like watching fisting. Then Heather is like watching someone sit on a traffic cone. I don't know why I'm still trying to make this work, but guess what? It's not my kink, but I can respect that some people like it.
Yeah, some people are really into it. I don't know if fisting is really for me, but
me neither. You know, I'm just saying it's the first kink I thought of. Is that?
Anyway, so going back to this opening scene, very serious music is playing. Like Ronnie said, it's so serious that we think that like there's been a terrible accident or there's just been a bombshell moment, but it really is just like Emily and Gina having lunch and Gina just complaining. Just Gina like, I think that Heather's not a good friend. She's like, because Emily's like, so how was Montana? And then we get a flashback of Heather going, for you to shit talk my career, fuck you. And note that I say fuck you and not fuck off. I do not want to have to correct this a fourth time.
And her church lady face. I said fuck. I said fuck. I said it.
Yeah.
And then we get a clip of Tamra going, Ryan walked into my gym and he said, I'm gonna fuck her. And Gina's in a clip going, that is why I can't do this, talking about an affair. And then we cut back to, it blacks up with Gina. And she's like, so much stuff happened. Honestly, I'm so mad at Heather right now. And then we flash back again, black up to Gina going, Tamra said she says something about Tamra said something about the 1900s or something. Right. Tamra said that about your career, Heather. And Heather's like, but I asked Tamra, I said, did you say that? And she said, no.
So then Emily's like, so then she goes and tells Tamra that like it was that Gina was saying, like, then she goes and tells Tamra that I was talking shit about her. And then we see a Heather flashback of Gina saying Tamra's maligning your career. And then Tamra goes, she wasn't there, so I don't know why she's trying to cause problems. Fade out. Fade to black.
Well, two things. First of all, you were talking shit about her to Heather, but Heather should be a better friend than that. That was very bad. It was very bad.
Oh no. This is bullshit. This whole complaint that Gina has is the biggest bullshit of all time. Gina, who kicked off last season by ratting out Shannon, Gina's very close friend Shannon, to Heather, a woman she just met at that Nobu party. Parallels. And then she's going to complain that when she goes and says something to Heather, and Heather's like, really? And then Heather confronts Tamra about it, that Gina, who already brought a bone to Heather, is now going to complain that Heather brings a bone to Tamra. Like, no. I will not accept this from Gina.
I don't know that it was a bone. I thought it was a tattletale. Like, Heather was coming and she was going, well, Gina said that you maligned my career and that you weren't being sincere and that you're trying to do blah, blah, blah.
Which is exactly what Gina just did to Heather. That's exactly what Gina just did. Gina just tattletale to Heather.
They all do it, right? I mean, I get that, but I think that Heather is the thing that's bothering me. A is Heather. I don't like Heather, but also Heather is treating Tamra like Tamra's like Large Marge in prison, and she's like, kiss. This is the information she's bringing to like kiss the mob leader's ass, and
I don't know. I don't
gross, Heather.
I think that like Gina told her that Tamra was talking shit. So Heather's like, I heard you were talking shit. Gina said you were talking shit. I think that's like a fairly normal progression. And it may not be like something I would do to a friend because she does, like she didn't have to say Gina told me this, but she does say that. But Gina's acting as if she doesn't do this like literally every episode. So I just don't want to hear it from Gina.
Well, but she wasn't telling her new information. Gina had heard just what Tamra had said, or what Taylor had said in front of everybody. Taylor said, well, Tamra... She was just saying, listen, Taylor said right at the table that Tamra was making fun of you. So she said that Tamra opened your IMDb and was saying you haven't done something since the 1900s, which was true. So she's pointing out to Heather, listen, you're acting like Tamra's your great friend, but she was also making fun of you with Taylor. Why are you only mad at Taylor? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, I think she was trying to help Heather, if that makes any sense.
I don't mind what Gina said to Heather. But I'm just saying, then she's acting all offended, being like, I'm not even sure she's a friend. Because I think what Heather brought to Tamra, I don't think was like the craziest thing in the world. It was so uncrazy that when it happened, I don't think any of us even thought like, oh my God, what a violation of girl code right now. And we're just like, okay, whatever. It's just like more like chatter. But then Gina, who has literally done what Heather's done like so many times over the course of her run on this show, now all of a sudden is like, oh my God, I can't believe she would do that to me. It's like, I don't want to hear that from you, Gina. Okay. I just don't want to hear it from you.
So then we flash to black and then flash back up, fade back up. And Gina's like, so then I try to call Travis and Heather stops me. And she's like, clip, Travis is your boyfriend, not your therapist. Which, by the way, is good advice. You should have listened to her. And then we cut back to Gina and she's like, and then the next night at dinner. And then we see that clip of Shanna saying, well, I'm just saying, I wonder how much longer. Oh, he's going to put up with it? That's what I said. That's what I said.
And Gina's like, oh my God, can you believe she would say that? By the way, Shannon totally said 50% of that sentence and is not getting any heat either. So that's, again, I just feel like Gina, I said this last week, Gina does this to someone every single season, and I'm sick of it.
We agree on that. Yeah, Gina's done this Gina's horrible.
So she's
I'm just saying in that one specific case, I think she was trying to bring something to Heather to be like,
I don't question that.
I don't know
I agree.
about trusting this Tamra chick because Tamra's obviously talking behind your back, even though she's acting innocent right now.
I agree. I don't have any issues with Gina saying that to Heather. I'm just saying I have issues with Gina just like using this as the cornerstone of her argument as to why she doesn't want to be friends with Heather anymore.
Well, she does that. You know, if you ask anything of Gina in a relationship, she immediately drops you. And that's what she's done every single season so far.
Exactly. And my theory is Heather called out Gina in the very first episode for being an absentee friend. I mean, like, Gina's poor, Heather's rich. Like, Gina's got to, like, be there as a friend because the rich person has invested in you now. But, like, Gina, like, has been a bad friend. Heather calls her out on it. And now I think Gina is looking for an escape route so that way she's not the bad one for ruining the friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is that maybe what you just said.
Oh, yeah, that's what we were saying last week. But yeah, I mean, it's exactly what she's doing. She decided she doesn't like Heather. Heather called her out. And so now she's going to make Heather the enemy, right? And she's going to come for Heather. And she knows that with Emily's help, you know, they're bulldozers. They can come through together. And I think it's so funny that she's going to actually turn on Heather at Heather's Nobu party because that's when she turned on Shannon at the Nobu party, which you've already pointed out. But it's just so poetically is so nice. She's like a lazy Susan of no loyalty. I mean, they're like gluing Chads. They're gluing Chads to her loyalty card because she's like negative hole punches in loyalty card. Gina's like the least loyal fucking person I've ever seen. And that's saying something.
Negative. They're filling in her loyalty card again.
They're gluing back hole punches from other loyalty cards onto her loyalty card.
So yeah, Gina's like, well, Heather's having a sushi party on Friday and she will acknowledge my feelings or I will not continue a friendship with her. I'm like, okay. Ooh. Says the lady who's going to be having like non-grocery store sushi for the first time in 3 years on Friday.
Yeah, exactly. And then they've added this back in. I haven't noticed this season, but I think since so many of this cast is Fox News adjacent, even though, you know, I don't love to get political, but let's face it, guys, it's Orange County. I think so many of them are that they've added in back that Fox News whoosh, where it's just obviously a guy doing what I just did, going whoosh, and now they've added that back into the slides.
Because this show really does feel very fair and balanced at so many times.
It really does. I mean, this show really...
down.
It's like the Bill O'Reilly of Housewives.
Well, speaking
just loud. Tamra is kind of the Bill O'Reilly of Housewives, actually. Come to think, she's like kind of the Fox News host of Housewives. She just yells in your face until she gets her down. She invites guests on and then calls them names and screams at them and then cuts them off and then cuts their camera feed.
She does sort of look like she could be a host of Fox and Friends, although if Tamra on, it'd probably be called Fox and Betches.
Fox and Friends Batch.
Speaking of Fox News and speaking of Tamra, we then see things going on around town, and it's Tamra with her son Ryan, who has probably listened to that Jason Aldean song 45 times already.
He's such a fucking poser, sitting in the kitchen in his full cosplay and his full cowboy hat in the kitchen. Give me a fucking, you are so sad. Cut off his fucking feed to Yellowstone, okay?
No.
Loser rich kids have done this in the past few years. Like, I'm a cowboy now. Like, is that supposed to make it better? Fucking asshole.
Literally the worst. So, yeah, I guess Tamara's dog died and there's some ashes and she's giving ashes to everyone. And Ryan's like, cool. He's going to sell them to a pawn shop afterwards.
Tamara's like,
I gave you the ass end.
It's like, thanks.
The ass end of the ashes?
She gave him the ass end of the ashes.
Did they cremate this dog in pieces? Like, okay, do the ass next.
I'm in love with that. Shit's funny. So then Ryan and Jen are kayaking next to each other. And
talk about fair and balanced. Literally balanced and fair-skinned, Jen.
Sorry. I was allergic to this scene. Ryan's such a fucking liar. I'm allergic to lies.
Yeah, they're kayaking, which is great.
So then
a lot of vessels. Yeah.
Emily and Shane are with their kids at the dinner table. They're really boring. And then we go, Emily's like, I'm going to have a party at your mom's house. Have you ever seen a slip and slide, Annabelle? And Annabelle's like, for women?
Jane goes, adult women. Exactly.
So then
I'm like, is that a king of snark? That's just like a king of... He's sort of like losing his touch there. He's like just adding an exactly to things. It's sort of like, I don't know if it's a king of snarkasm.
No, he doesn't really have the magic anymore. And I love that he's making fun of immature women when he literally just got a job at age 50 and is walking with a tiny little backpack with his lunch inside of it. Like his packed lunch inside of it.
He's like wearing, he literally looks like Tom Hanks at the end of Big when he turns back into a boy and he's wearing like all the adult clothes, like too big on him.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
If you're hiring, you know what it's like to deal with economic uncertainty. And now more than ever, it's really important to hire the right people faster and more efficiently because you got to keep the overall cost down. And thankfully, there's a hiring partner who's focused on you and your needs, and that is ZipRecruiter.
From pricing to technology, everything that ZipRecruiter does is for you and what works best for you.
And right now, you can try them free at ZipRecruiter.com/crappins.
Now, here's how ZipRecruiter prioritizes your needs. They've got very straightforward pricing, like no surprises, no twists and turns.
ZipRecruiter's smart technology identifies the best matches for your job. Hire the best with the help of a partner who's all about you, ZipRecruiter.
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Just go to this exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/crappins.
Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/crappens.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
What do millions of Americans and 4 U.S. presidents have in common? They all get a better night's sleep in Bull & Branch sheets. They feel incredible because they don't cut any corners and believe that quality takes time. Bull & Branch sheets are made free from toxins with the finest 100% traceable organic cotton. They only use long staple threads, slow spun for an unmatched softness, and they'll feel unbelievably soft for years to come. Once you experience the quality of Bull & Branch, you'll never sleep in anything else. Shop their annual summer event now to get 20% off your order for a limited time only. Use promo code WONDERY20 at bowlandbranch.com. That's 20% off with free shipping, free returns, and our 30-night worry-free guarantee. Shop now at bowlandbranch.com to start getting the best sleep of your life. That's BOLL and branch.com. Promo code WONDERY20.
So then we go to Shannon and John, and we don't see John much these days, but we get him now. And he's like, Shannon, they're on his boat. And he's like, Shannon, get that midline on and we're good, okay? Get the midline on, Shannon. Midline!
Below deck Newport Beach. It's like just a cast of 2.
She's like, okay, well, I'll get that midlight. Okay, here we go. Oh, and we are docked. Wow. Oh, we are docked.
So they're going to cook dinner. And Shannon tells us,
well, we don't cook dinner at John's often because I have all the stuff. I have the stuff. I have the salmon, I have the cream cheese, and I have the lemon slices. That's all you need for a good dinner. Now, John and I rarely have dinner because I have the stuff. Sweetie, where's the olive oil?
And she's looking through all of his cabinets. And she's like,
well, as far as John cooking for me, I think he's done it one time.
And then she opens the fridge and drops out like a jar of mayonnaise or something. She's like,
What? Did I break it? Did I break the shelf? You know what, John? This shelf should be a little bit higher. I'm a little concerned about your refrigerator feng shui.
And then she tells us, John and I, because she keeps saying John and I over and over. So I think she's just trying to keep convincing herself that they're a couple because there are apparently already real problems. Because every time she talks about him, she says, well, John and I never have dinner at this house. John and I have talked about when the kids go to school, but we haven't talked about details. John and I are about to have dinner. John and I, are you sitting down? John and I just dropped mayonnaise out of the fridge. That wasn't John. I get that. Just what couples do, huh?
Yeah, Shannon keeps on opening the fridge and things keep on falling out.
Yeah, John, am I opening this fridge the wrong? Am I approaching this fridge like a relationship the wrong way? What's going on? Things keep falling out.
He's like, open it more softly, please. And she's like, well, do I have hope that John and I will spend the rest of our life together? Sure. But we have a lot of work to do and we have kids at home. We're not in any rush, according to John, who still has mayonnaise on too low of a shelf. So we can see where his commitment lies, and it's on the wrong shelf.
I can't help but feel like that teetering mayonnaise was there as a safeguard for me going in for snacks in the middle of the night. Now he'll always know if I'm doing a Nigella Lawson there. Okay, fine, you caught me.
And when she says, we're not in any rush, she does my favorite Shannon thing where she does shrug hands. She doesn't shrug with her shoulders. She puts her hands flat and then just like moves them up. She's like, shrug. So she's like, so what did you think the other night when Sophie and Reese were talking about marriage?
And we get a flashback to like a family dinner, and the kids are saying that they're thinking of getting married, but Reese goes, yeah, I was thinking though after we both graduate. And you see Shannon mouth,
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I love this. She's like, oh, remember how they were talking about marriage? And we cut to it and she goes, are you getting married? He's like, maybe after we graduate. From dinner? Because you're graduated from dinner, you can leave the table and marry my daughter so I can be a mother. Buy a mother of the bride's dress. It looks like a wedding dress, and John can get the hint and beg me to marry him already and put mayonnaise on a reachable shelf. Okay.
I couldn't tell if she was excited that they'd be getting married after, like, when her thank you, was her thank you a thank you of, oh, thank God they're going to get married? Or was it a thank you of, oh, thank God they're not going to get married while they're still in college?
I don't know, because I think that Sophie is an enigma to her because she has run away and become a Christian. And Shannon's like, what do I do with this? You know? Mm-hmm. But she can also see that she's obviously with this guy and knows that path probably will lead to marriage in about 5 minutes. So I don't know. I don't know if she wants her married or not. But then we see her with the twins, and the twins are like the complete opposite. They're just like, whatever, pay for it. I'm on a $5,000 purse. So I don't know if I don't know. I can't read it.
Yeah. So she's,
Well, some people, okay, let's get my hands up for this one. Some people rush into things, and I choose to take my time. And there were red flags with David, and I didn't pay attention to them. I mean, literally, we were walking along the beach, and it was high tide, lots of literal red flags. And I said, no, I'm going in the ocean, and I nearly drowned. So anyway, I need to know that this relationship is right, and we're going to make it and be happy. I'm going to pay attention to all the red flags, although I'm not going to choose to pay attention to the misery on his face. Ha!
I know the ultimate flag, the exhausted Al Gore face looking back at her. I mean, he looks like Al Gore just begging to be put into what do you call that? A waking coma? What do you call that?
a trance.
No, not a waking coma. A medical coma where they're like, listen,
medically induced coma.
Medically induced coma. He's like, please just put me in a medically induced coma until this is all over. I cannot get through this dinner. His eyes are half closed. He's like, you're exhausting.
He has spent at least 2, if not 3 seasons with that half eye closed face and just like burying himself into a glass of tequila soda. This guy is not happy.
So he's like, so has this been at least a little bit relaxing for you today? She goes, oh, well. I mean, yeah, I'm sure it was relaxing when you were making me heave lines. Yeah, that's super relaxing, John. It was like being on a beach in Mexico where you were forced to move the waves by yourself. But yeah, I just thought of all the things I have to do. Amazon.
I've got to, I got to go deal with Amazon. I've got children going to college. I have to work on dodging Hidden Valley Farms jars falling out of your refrigerator. It's a little stressful.
Then we see a clip of her talking to Steve, her partner in Real for Real. And Steve is in like an Adam Lambert wig. I'm not really sure what's happening with Steve, but
it's just called Orange County.
Yeah, I guess so, but wow.
Yeah, and they basically they're like,
what's going on with Amazon? Like, do they have all the information? Like, we have to keep moving forward with the supplements. What are we going to do? Is that Hellman's that just rolled out to my feet? What is happening with all these condiments?
She's like, well, I'm meeting with Steve and we're talking all of our projects. Supplements, tinctures, supplements, waters. Oh, God, this is real. And it's for real, John. It is for real. And he's like, oh, my God, just listening to you talk about your world stresses me out. God.
Well, next year, I'll have 3 kids going to school, and that's, assuming that David doesn't encourage them to take a gap year, where, they will literally just go to the Gap for a year. Do not want that. Anyway, it's very stressful, and, it's a lot. It's a huge deal for me.
Shannon, the man is exhausted. He's exhausted by you. He's just told you, please stop talking about your problems and just enjoy yourself. She's like, I have 3 children and they need college. I was like, this guy's going to get in his boat and he's going to fucking run.
But also, what does John do? What is John doing with
John
his
is
why?
retired.
Like why? Like, but yeah, so he has time he could like help out, lend a helping hand maybe, and take some of this off of Shannon's back.
I think Shannon is just that kind of personality who, even when she is in the retirement village one day and supposed to be relaxing, she will always be like this. They'll be like, how are you doing, Mrs. Storms? And she'll be like, well, I tell you, honey, I've got a lot to do. Cards to shuffle. I've got to reorganize all the books. David still hasn't returned my message about the girl's wedding.
I have to get up because I fell and I haven't gotten up yet.
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up out from under this large jar of mayonnaise.
I've fallen and I can't get up because I'm weighed down by obligations.
I think she's just the kind of person who is constantly going to be stressed. She's a whirlwind of stress and emotions, and John's not. John just wants to chill and retire, and I think he told himself, okay, she may be going through something right now from her divorce or whatever, but eventually she's going to calm and she can just ride my boat with me. Like, she knows how to heave a line. Listen, John's a simple man, and Shannon was raised on boats, as she's told us. I think Sean was like, she has boat knowledge. She can heave a line. She can help me tie the boat. That's all I really need in life. But Shannon's never going to calm down because she's Shannon.
He's probably been resentful of her ever since they were listening to Jimmy Buffett on that boat, and she was like,
I really think that it should be called 2 Salmons in Paradise. That's just a much healthier option.
I mean, if you're going to have a buffet, you need to have something healthy. Am I right, Jimmy?
Why don't we get drunk and screw on the top of your mayonnaise?
So he's exhausted, and he's like, I understand. And she tells us, well, I have a lot of balls in the air. Literal balls. Ow! God, what just hit me up. Okay, guys, got the other 2. Oh, that was something. You know what?
Technically, one of them was a jar of mayonnaise, but yes, ball, nonetheless.
So he's like, but listen, I just want there to be times where you can turn your mind off so we can have some, fun. She goes, do we still not have fun? No.
Yeah, but maybe it's time for me to blow into my invisible bottle because I thought we were having fun.
And he's picked up her first letter of the word repeat over and over thing out of stress. So he's stressed now, and he goes, we do, but yeah, you've got your mind spinning all the time, Shannon. And then she's like, he just said that on the camera. Okay, so my mind is spinning too much now. I'm gonna look down and purse my lips. Okay, look back and forth, purse my lips, purse my lips.
There's only one way to combat this sort of aggression, and that is to stare at a spot just beyond my toes.
And he's like, yeah, I just told her. And he's like, okay, so steak now. So he gets up, and she's like mortified that he just did that on camera. And she's just like looking down like, he has destroyed me.
Does he not see that I'm devastated right here in this chair? I guess he didn't realize that I have my pursed lips and staring just beyond my toe face on.
So then we go to a salon, and Tamra bops in, and I think pajamas, and she's like, hey, Bats, I've got a reservation in the salon for Batch and Batch.
So then Emily joins. She's like, how was Montana?
Good! Heather had to shovel shit, but she did say she has an appreciation for people that have to do that.
And then we get to see the clip again of Heather being like, I am so grateful. Cheers to the little people that shovel shit, because without them shoveling shit, I don't get to have Nobu. So thank you. Thank you, everyone.
I would like to thank the gas station attendants, because without them, we would not have gas stations called self-serve. They would only be called gas stations.
And by the way, congratulations to those people who understand the difference between self-serve and soft-serve. The advances that Alfredo has made are really outstanding.
And Emily's like, wow, well, that sounds very condescending. And then Heather comes in. She's like, I'm meeting friends. And the lady's like, girl, who are you kidding? Who are you fucking
Hello, Alfredoette. I'm meeting my friends.
Alfreda. So Emily's
Alfreda.
like, I mean, just saying now that you've got respect for people doing manual labor and you're in your 50s and you just now had an aha moment.
I don't think that Heather had an aha moment. I think Heather was trying to have a look at me, America. I understand, people of the world.
Yes.
Heather will not have an aha moment. No. So she walks in. She's like, oh my God, my back hurts so much. I know what I realized? Not only was I shoveling shit, I was also splitting wood. My back. I'm like, you realize you're in a room of women who are cutting other people's nails. And you're like, oh, my back hurts so much. God, doing work is hard.
I literally can't do anything. I heard my back shoveling shit. It was great. Hey, compadre, you doing my nails today? I shovel shit. We're basically like sisters now. What's your favorite discount retailer? I hear you.
I'm basically a nail technician at this point. I mean, you could just call me Tippy Hedren. So Tamra's like,
Yo, I didn't hear about you splitting wood, bitch.
And she's like, well, you couldn't because you were cooking elk, or something like that. Oh, by the way, we miss you, Emily. And Emily's like, well, it's nice to be missed. I mean, it was hard not being there, but what are you going to do? And Heather says, well, I just wanted, you down there, lady. You down there, both figuratively and literally. Freda.
Lady whose head I'm resting my foot on, I have a request for you.
I want a regular pedicure, but an extra massage. You have gloves, right? Okay.
The soles of your feet are actually, the soles are basically the backs of your feet. And so my back hurts.
Is there anything plexiglass that we can put in front of Alfreda's face so I just see her arms coming through, massaging me? I don't want her breathing on me. That would be great.
So Emily's like, so how is Taylor? How is she? And Tamara's like, ask Heather. And Heather's like, great. She was great. We're like really close. Like this. So happy. Love her.
BFFs. No, she did something shitty. She said I was condescending and thought that I was better than the role in Taylor's movie. And Emily goes, oh, yeah, she did tell me that. Mm-hmm. Well, I will tell you that she did tell me that. And Heather has got like a pissed face, that pursed.
Yeah. Like, don't make me angry in front of the workers. So then we see 3 weeks earlier, Taylor was basically complaining to Emily about how Heather reacted and everything. And Emily's like, well, Heather, you can be a little hurtful sometimes in the things you say. And Heather puts her palm up and goes, hold on 1 second, you stupid bitch. I'm not hurtful in the things I say.
Hold on a second. I want to respond to that because that was not very nice. That was not nice. And and by the way, the wall behind them says serene, freedom, tranquility. So Heather's like, you are assuming that she's in the right and I'm in the wrong. And I was in the middle of packing my children for college. And I took time out of my day to go over there. Great.
Tamara's like, that sounds condescending. I'm like, yes, it is condescending, but don't act like all of you don't when you have the opportunity to say, I took the time out of my day from closing down Cut Fitness to come to your event. Like, everyone does that.
Such a snobby asshole. She is such a snobby asshole. I'm totally Team Emily. I'm so glad someone's calling her out. Heather sucks. I mean, my God, to be like, I took time out of my day for my kids. You had employees packing your kids for college. You did not really waste your time down there in a sea full of styrofoam peanuts. Okay, nobody believes it. You had somebody else doing that for you the whole time, and for you to take time out is you saying, like, basically, I took time out of my solo scenes filming with my assistants about my children to come film a scene with you, friend of, and you should be fucking grateful for that. Heather sucks.
I am not condescending. All I am saying is that I had to drive past all 3 of my gates to come to your place with no parking. I had to park over by all the Alfredos. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not being condescending at all.
I had to be blue light wanted by 4 employees when I got home that day.
I literally could walk from my car to your doorway in less than 10 seconds. I mean, that's barely even a driveway.
Yeah, but you talk about your life and about the things you have going on, and it just comes across that you're like better than everyone else, and your life is more important. And Heather's like, I shoveled shit.
That's not how, I don't mean that. I don't mean it for it to come across that I'm better. I want you just to know that I'm better. So I apologize that was not really drilled home.
Well, maybe you're just not aware of how you sound sometimes, and that's all my point is. And Heather's like, okay. Tamra tells us, I agree with Tamra, even though she's coming in a little hard, but that's just Heather. And Heather's like, how about we don't make sweeping generalizations about my behavior? Let's look at your behavior. Should we talk about your mean, unattractive aggressiveness? Jeez, God.
And lack of IMDb, I'd like to add.
So Emily's like,
You just told someone fuck you the other day, Heather. Like, you don't get to act like you're the classy, non-aggressive one in the group, okay?
Thank you for correctly quoting me instead of saying I said fuck off.
so Emily tells us,
I actually had to correct it. Can you believe that? That's how dedicated I am to this show. I was like, no, she said fuck you. Correct.
Emily's like, well, it's important that Heather's aware that she talks to people like this because I don't think anyone else has the balls to tell her. And then Gina's like,
I mean, it's like a bitch just has to know.
so Emily's
Gina
like,
and her caution cone outfit. I just can't with Gina. Can't. Please, someone help Gina. Gina needs help. Go help her.
talk about a bitch needing to know. So Emily's like,
I just feel like it got way uglier than it needed to.
Yeah, Heather told her to fuck off.
No, I said, fuck you. Please. I studied those lines.
Sorry, fuck you.
I was like, okay, so Tamra judging somebody on that's also hilarious.
I know.
So then Emily goes, oh, yeah, that's a lot better. And they start cracking up. And there's like a lady in a chair next to them with like hair out to here. She doesn't look like she belongs here at all. I mean, where are they? Did they take a helicopter to Azusa? Where did this lady come from?
They're like, I think they were in Mission Viejo or something. Remember, Mission Viejo is like looked at. I just remember from Laguna Beach, watched that show. They were like, ew, she's from Mission Viejo. Disgusting. So,
Well,
yeah,
she just shakes her head and she says, wow, to the camera, like, wow.
so Tamara's like,
So, are you going to invite Gina to your party?
And Heather's like, of course I am. I'm not punitive like that. I'm sorry. I'll give you a moment to look up that word.
I'm not going to be no punitive, okay? We have a private doc at Nobu, so let's do this. And Tamara's like, what time? And Heather goes, why? Do you have an audition?
Yeah, we're meeting at a Duffy spot, which, as we all know, is where one goes and talks to Patrick Duffy, one of my co-stars in the pilot that never aired. Did you guys work with Patrick Duffy also? No. What about Julia Duffy?
So then we go to Jen teaching yoga indoors, which is impressive. I found that very impressive. Congrats
expanding
on
her
moving out of
brand.
the parking lot.
yeah, she got a roof,
Also, everybody in yoga, let me just dedicate this to you. You all look terrifying. Every single one of you. Men, women, all of you. Stop. Enough is enough. Get the Botox, get the fillers, get your facelift, feel good about yourself. But there comes a point where you just look like a leftover chicken breast that's wrapped in plastic wrap and left out on the counter. Just stop. You're scaring me. You're scaring the children.
I took a yoga class for the first time in years and years, like a week ago, and I definitely looked like a chicken breast that was half pounded out and then someone gave up.
I'm talking about
rough.
the plastic surgery on the faces.
Oh.
It's just too much, you guys. Like, take a step back. I love it. And listen, I'm aging. I'm indulging in the Botox and the chemical peels and anything I can afford. I'll get a second job to keep that shit up. But people, this is too much. You look insane. Have you seen Lisa Rinna? Lisa Rinna just posted, by the way, she's 60 and looks great at 60, so give her that. Hi, Lisa Rinna. You're doing great. Hope you're doing well out there.
Great work.
But those lips, she has a literal, it looks like a fist now on her face. It looks like this. It looks like she's about to punch somebody with her lips. They're a fist. Why? Why is all of this necessary, guys? You're just great the way you are.
Yeah. That's inspiring. Okay.
Stuff, just not too much stuff. I'm sorry. Go ahead, babe. I think I focused way too much on the yoga faces. Now I'm like, I'm seeing my future, and it's scaring me.
Well, no, because the thing is, like, when someone's worked out, like, you see, like, the mask, like, quality of plastic surgery really comes to the fore when someone's, like, been rigorously working out for an hour, because it's kind of like the normal part, the untouched parts of their body get kind of, like, rumpled and sweaty, and, like, the plump up in weird ways, and then the plasticky parts don't. And so there's a real contrast, and it's like when you see, it's like oil on water, it's just like,
yes, starts to separate. And I think, it's that, and it's the blood vessels are different now because they've changed the routing of your blood vessels with the cuts. And so now parts of you are turning red and purple, and then this part's not. And so it's like
maybe that's
plastic surgery priv face. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying, do your plastic surgery. I hope to start soon. Okay. But just let's all have some restraint. Middle of the road.
Unfortunately, I think that ship has sailed for Orange County. I don't think Orange County is known for restraint on any front, no matter what it is. Plastic surgery.
I'm going to come back, by the way. We all know what a hypocrite I am. I'm going to come back here in 2 years looking like Jen.
You will.
Like, I'm going to
You're
get
on
Jen's
the path.
face.
You're on the path. Like, your first facelift is coming soon.
It is. I'm saving up that shit already.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for...
Looking for love? I'm Jujubee, and on this season of Queen of Hearts, we're going all the way down to sunny, sexy Miami. I'm setting up the hottest singles in South Florida. Maybe I can find them their perfect partner, or someone to fulfill their sexiest fantasies.
A man who unconditionally loves me and is a raging feminist, and then ties me up, rubbing oils on me, then surprise gets a girl to lick my and another guy to put it in my and has a huge...
But remember, there's a twist. No one can see each other until the very end. Camera's on.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Woo. Got me blessed.
Follow Queen of Hearts on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen ad-free on Amazon Music, included with Prime. Download the Amazon Music app now, or you can listen ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app.
For a Crappens commercial.
Okay, so Jenna's teaching yogas indoors. The faces are terrifying. She's like, let the highest in me honor the highest in you. Namaste.
And then there was a close-up on a lady. Wasn't that lady Gina's friend? I always forget her name. I don't know. Really interesting theory on my part. So Gina, speaking of which, Gina comes over to the yoga studio, and she's like,
Hi! Oh my god, you look so cute. Guess what? I brought you a gift. I bet you can't tell what it is by this cube-like present I'm about to give you.
and Jen's like, great, another candle. You open up a yoga studio, and people think all you want are candles. Wow, wonderful.
Also, who wants this many candles? What is with this candle industry? Stop. Enough is enough. I don't want your fucking candles. Enough. Everyone's candle. They're re-gifted. We're just basically passing candles around at this point because nobody wants this shit in their house.
Well, there is a chance that with Gina, if you get a box that's that shape, it could be just an old GameCube console she got at the thrift shop. She's like, well, I found this. I thought you might like it. It looked interesting.
Let's step up. At least it's useful, Fucking candle. Give me a break. So then Jen tells us that her yoga studio is her passion, and she and her ex Will are financial partners, but she needs this yoga studio to be successful because she needs to take care of herself and she needs to take care of her children. I'm like, lady, you're in a yoga studio that was paid for you, and you're wearing Fendi. Can we please stop acting like the mom trying to lead 10 Girl Scouts just to keep, white bread on the table? Stop.
Yeah, she's acting like Norma Ray. Okay, so she's basically like, oh my God, thanks for this candle.
Norma
Never
Ray
got one
poor,
before.
Or did she just stand up for unions?
You know, I've actually never seen that movie, but I just know that like she worked.
Marie fought the man. She like fought for rights and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so maybe. Okay. Jen is acting. You know what? Jen's acting like she's Melanie Griffith in any variety of films, but specifically Working Girl. But most films, really any Melanie Griffith film, Shining Through. She's acting like Melanie Griffith in Shining Through.
So Gina comes in and she's, slouches in. She's like, hi. So, sorry, you already said that. So
Candles.
There's a huge namaste on the wall. And Jen's like, you know what, Gina? I am so grateful to you for showing up. Really, I am. Just your presence in my space, you showing up for me, you being here the way that you're being here. It couldn't mean more to me. I'm serious, Gina.
That was really good. So Gina's like,
You know what? You're the only person that I work out for.
I'm like, really? Because you just showed up at the end of class. So you might want to walk that one back, or does that count as exercise too? So Gina's like,
I did. Guess what? Here comes my tagline. I did feel really bad about the way everything panned out leading up to Montana, and it was like forcing me to look at things and do things that I should have like processed years ago. And like, I want someone that like, I want to be someone that like you don't feel like you're walking on eggshells with.
and Jen was like, I wasn't. I wasn't walking in. I didn't really care really what you thought about anything I said.
But thank you. Thank you so much for that, Gina. Really, thank you so much for saying that. For the past couple of years, I've just felt so bad, Gina. I've just felt so bad. I've had my tail between my legs. I've had my head down. I've just felt so bad. And then, you know what? Now I say, you are who you are. And who loves you is still going to love you. Now, they may not approve of you, but, at the end of the day, I'm in Fendi and they're in tie-dye Walmart. And that's just how the world spins. And I'm a lucky person. Gina's like, wait a minute. I'm in tie-dye Walmart. Oh, not you. I didn't mean you. Was that a tie-dye from Walmart? I'm so sorry. I appreciate you bringing that here. I really do.
Yeah, I really do. And that's why I started this process of shoulders back, heads up. And I can see that that's not something you understand. And so Gina's like,
Well, you know what? I think that like Montana, even though it was like hard to watch, it was like a good thing.
and Jen's like, yeah, absolutely not. It was devastating. I hated it. It ruined all my relationships. But thank you so much for that perspective. Thank you. Thank you.
I felt the same way about Tamra. Really. Like it was hard, but it ended up being a great thing for us. Just wonderful. And then we see a clip of them making up, Tamra and Jen. And Tamra's like, I just don't want you to be cheated on, bitch. That's why I said anything at all. And she's like, well, I don't want to be cheated on either, Tamra. And she's like, let's just put it all past us. I love when Tamra does that. Tamra starts wars and then goes, let's just move on. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jen's like, stuff was said to me that I had no idea about. And I told her, when shit starts chattering, doesn't make sense what I just said, but just if shit does start to chat, if you ever see a piece of feces and starts to talk to me first.
Gina's like, yeah, you know what you gotta do is sometimes set expectations for people. And she goes, yeah, and then we'll just see if she lives up to those. And Gina's like, oh my gosh, she has weird expectations for like someone who's clearly not gonna show up for you. Because Tamra showed up already and she dragged your shit all over town, girl. It's like, so did you. You're walking around town like calling her basically a slut. I mean, you haven't called her a slut, but you're basically
did.
So she's like, you know what? She did have all these built up feelings towards your situation. I hope, and hopefully that's like really cleared out.
And Jen's like, you're so impressive as a woman and a human.
She's so full of it. And Gina goes, oh my God, I love the flatteries. And she goes, no, I mean it. You know what? This is a journey. We're on a journey right now. And I'm never going to forget this journey, Gina. We're together in a car on the way on a journey. We passed a rest stop because we're both waiting for a Buc-ee's. It's the most important thing. We're together.
Someone is back there pulling the cord on Jen. Like, we are on a journey together. I am so impressed with you as a woman and as a person. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
I can't wait because with these like LA types, sorry, we all know the California type, which she totally is the stereotype of that, like, oh my God, I love your energy and your vibe. We all know those are the craziest fucking people, especially mixed with the yoga studio owner. I cannot wait until the real Jen just comes barreling out of there.
Yeah, she's holding it in. She's still self-conscious because she's on TV. She doesn't know if she has the job yet, you know? So then we go to, Emily's house, and her child wants juice, and Shane just came home, and Emily's like, how's work? Still employed? He's like, yeah. And then the dog has like the lampshade on it, and Emily's like, look at the poor dog. Oh. You're laughing at him? That's not going to help. Maybe we should put one on Fisker so he's not alone. And then you can wear one too. So they have, you have sympathy for them.
Oh. Same. So her mother has sent her pictures of her childhood. And so she's like, I'm never going to be my mother. And she starts this whole thing again and crying about how her mom never spends time with her, even though she's not seen her mom since she flew her in to be on TV to berate her in 2019. She's still not seen her mom. So I'm not going to buy this whole thing. You should have made more effort by now. That's your mother. And shame on you. It's 2023, ma'am. Okay. So she goes upstairs to call her mother and cry about it, invite her mom in, and make sure that we all know that she's paying for the plane ticket. And her mom agrees to come. And
it's one of my favorite tropes. The when a reality star is like, my mom just wasn't there, and like I had to open doors by myself, and I had to like close doors by myself, and I had to get on the school bus, and I had to turn on the TV by myself, and she just wasn't there, and she was distant. I know that she needed help, and like I just didn't realize it at the time, and I realize it now. But she's like honestly just like a monster. I'm gonna call her right now. It's like, hi mom,
Hi, sweetie.
oh what a monster.
she really is. And the mom's like, I hope those pictures made you remember that your childhood wasn't all bad. Wasn't it great? I love you so much, Emily. Of course I'll come to visit you whenever you need.
What a vile bitch.
I know. What a horrible monster of a fucking... And also, Emily tells us that her mom was depressed because her dad dumped her with 2 kids. And, she didn't understand when she was a kid that her mom was in bed all day because she was depressed and stuff like that. So, I don't know. It's very complicated. Here's my point. I'm not dissing her mom's relationship. It just seems like she's using her mom to diss on TV to have a storyline, and it's I don't love it. It's gross, and you've already done it. It's like a repeat diss. It's a repeat storyline.
Yeah, I think for me it's just the rerun nature of it all that I am not into. So now we go. Shannon brings the twins to the boutique, and I forgot what one of the twins. I know there's Stella, and I forgot the other one's name, so I just called her non-Stella. Adelaide. Yeah. So Shannon's like,
Well, welcome to the boutique, girls.
Adeline.
So
Adeline.
So, how I love my twins a bushel and a peck. So, these aren't completely new clothes, girls. Many people maybe people use it a couple times or a lot of times. Ha! The world. But you know what? When you buy new clothes, it has chemicals in it. Lots and lots of chemicals.
Yeah, and she tells us, I'm passionate about things that aren't toxic. You're wearing pleather, polyester, and fake feathers. Like, what are you talking about? You're a Hobby Lobby full of chemicals right now.
Tequila is literally poison. Like alcohol is poison. Dude, have you ever heard of alcohol poisoning? You don't get poisoning from things that aren't poison.
And she's like,
Well, if you buy used, you don't get the chemicals. Plus, it'll be cheaper. I have bought clothes from consignment stores many times.
and the producer's like, is that jacket off-gassed? She goes,
Well, this jacket might be not off-gassed yet. I just got called out by producer. Fired over here. Off-gas you, fucking loser.
Maybe I would have purchased it off gas if I hadn't been distracted by jars of Hellman falling on my head at John's house. It's a lot in my mind right now.
I have to say 2 things. This store is called On Quai. I think it means on cue, but its Q is spelled wrong. It's spelled Q-U-E.
Oh, gosh.
That's how they spell it. On quai? On what?
On Q-U-E. On quai?
Okay. Maybe I'm just reading it wrong, but I thought that was really funny.
Was there more of it that we just didn't see of the word? Like
maybe, but that shit's hilarious. I wouldn't put it past the lady who owns the store. She's like, hey, homies. Shannon's like,
Here's my twins. They just got back from shopping in Paris, where their father sent them.
So I'm just here to show them what used things are like.
Yeah, Anke, yeah.
I'm surprised. I have to say, I am. If it is just called Anke, I'm still happy because I feel like so many of the stores and the boutiques they go to in Orange County have such generic names. So it's like Seasons, or like basically just called Seasons. I just imagine every boutique's called Seasons. So by the way,
There is
also
something called Anke Boutique. Let me see. I'm looking it up on Facebook. I don't think this is the same thing. Okay, go ahead, Ben. Keep talking.
I was just gonna say I love Shannon saying, "Yeah, Anke style, right?"
What does it mean? Designer and luxury apparel
Anque.
items.
Anque style.
Anque. Maybe it's Anque.
Is there an about
Is
us?
that a word?
Again, this is Orange County.
Okay, let's look it up. You know what? I had a feeling
I'm on their
being
website.
ignorant.
I'm on their website. On QUE. I think it's just being clever with on Q, but they misspelled Q.
On Q.
Because you know what? They probably knew that if they spelled Q correctly, there'd be a lot of people saying like, "Oh, is this on Kuwewe?" You know it. You think Gretchen Rossi is walking in there saying like, "On Q"? She's saying on Kuwewe.
That was a little side piece, side piece. Sorry, we did not fuck anybody on the show. That was a little side road we didn't need to go down, but I just thought it was funny. Okay, so they're talking.
Wait, I
about
know. I just want to
podcasting.
say, I love Shannon declaring that she's passionate about non-toxic things, as if someone would be like, you know what I'm passionate about? Toxic things.
I fucking love chemicals. Hey, do you have this jacket with more chemicals on it? That would be great.
Do you have any apples that are Do you have any apples that are like you do not run under the faucet? I just would love to just bite into one.
So they start talking about college and having to speak to the college counselor, and they're like, well, Dad said we don't need a college counselor. He doesn't want to pay for that. She's like, you need one, and we are going to get one. I will do it. And then she buys the kids a used Louis Vuitton purse, I think to share, but it's $3,100. So, wow, way to show kids how to get it cheaper at consignment, Shannon.
By the way, I'm a little concerned for these kids because they're like, they want to go to like NYU or something. And they're like, man, like all of our friends have already started writing their essays and like started to apply for schools. We haven't even like done anything. I'm like, well, please don't announce that to your admissions officer.
What she says is funny. She's like, well, they want to go to USC or NYU, and that's about $75,000 a year. Okay, so those are very hard schools to get into. And do I think the Bedore twins are going to be inundated with scholarships?
Nope. Nope. Well, they're gonna get into USC because Shannon's like A, legacy, and B, like a super USC booster, and also it's USC, let's be honest. So Shannon's like, she's like,
Oh, well, anyway, enjoy your $3,200 worth of off-gas clothing.
What did Kelly Dodd call it? University of Spoiled Children? That was like her
Exactly.
first joke on the show that made Shannon so mad, like her first episode. Well, how dare you, Kelly Dodd? So then we get golfing, beaches, pier, boats, and Heather's walking down the pier in stilettos. She's like, oh, this is so crazy, walking in stilettos on a pier. Is there anyone to do this for me? Alfredo!
and she's like waving at everyone who's like a staff. She's like, hi, how are you? I'm television's Heather Dubrow. Wow, you're so handsome and tall. What's your name? Logan. Nice to meet you, Alfredo. I'm Heather Dubrow. You may recognize me from a one season long show on CBS around year 2000. Okay, put me on my yacht.
So then Emily and Gina are talking. It was like a getting ready segment. So Gina, oh, for fuck's sake, my light just fell down on my face, didn't it? Let me just shove that there. Stay up there. God damn it. So Emily and Gina are on the phone, and Gina's like, I'm still mad at Heather because she texted me yesterday and was just like, say, how are we? I'm just looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yeah, the text said, I'm really looking forward to seeing you tomorrow and I want to have a lot of fun. And Emily goes, well, that's a well thought out, calculated, don't mess up my party text. I'm like, I think it was just saying, see you tomorrow. I don't think it was more than that.
Also, it is rude to mess up her lunch when she's buying you all $1 million worth of lunch. Wait till someone else's party.
Nobu.
Yeah. what the
Okay,
hell?
like because we all know that when Gina hosts a group party, which will never happen, but next time she does it, it's gonna be at like Sweet Green. So just like enjoy that sushi.
That is very nice. That is a very nice thing to say. Sweet green's expensive as fuck. What is a $20 salad? Never. She'll be like, oh
Fine,
my
CPK.
God, Chuck E. Cheese, high low, high low. Where's the high though? Where's the high, Gina? Ski bowl.
So
It's got skiing. Rich people like that, don't they?
So then Taylor shows up first because they're getting onto the Duffy, which I didn't know that's what those little boats were called. So they're all in this little, you know, Heather got into that Duffy and was like, excuse me, Alfredo, is there a penthouse on this Duffy? I just want to know. Is there a penthouse here? So
Are
Taylor
they Nobu Duffies? Like, does Nobu have little pink Duffies that they send out? Because they pass another one later.
I think it's just like, I kind of feel like it's like there's like a Duffy company at Newport Beach. Like that's
okay.
definitely a thing. I don't think that Nobu would have like Nobu would not have a hot pink Duffy if they did have one.
Do you know, with this show, I kind of want to live in this place. Do you? Like, I usually don't want to live in the places they do the shows. Like, I don't hate the places. I just am never like, wow, that looks amazing. This place looks gorgeous. I mean, we've been there and it is gorgeous, but I think the people would, I don't know that I would love the people, but according to this show, I would definitely not fit in. Oh my God, I would be so bullied here. Never mind, I changed my mind. But I want to take a pink boat to a restaurant. That's what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. I have to say, when I loved their little Duffy, I was like, this is so cute. I want to have a Duffy that I just hop into. They've been really leaning into like maritime things this season on Orange County, and I'm really into it.
Yeah, like John's house. Like, he lives in that little house that everyone kind of makes fun of it. But it's little because it's right on the fucking water, and he walks right outside and gets in a boat. And I mean, I guess
this is what Waterworld should have been.
There's probably not like a 7-Eleven though on the way. You know what I mean?
Might
like
be.
you can't just get a Duffy to use for Nobu. It needs to be more useful than that. But like if they get a McDonald's or something on the water, I would totally be there.
Yeah, it's like Venice. It's like Venice, but in Orange County. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So Taylor comes up and she's like, oh, yeah, you look pretty in pink. I didn't realize they had pink Duffies. With everything we've been going through, listen, I just really appreciate you including me, Heather. Okay?
Well, I am really glad you came, whoever you are. And, you know, I wanted to talk to you about the movie, okay? This has just gotten out of control. You know, I have my feelings on this as a working actress, of course, and we've gone round and round, working actress to non-working actress, back and forth. But the bottom line is, for some reason, I hurt your feelings, and now that I've learned that it takes a village to put out a Nobu dinner, I realized some people are actresses, some people are shit shovelers, and you are a shit shoveler, and I shouldn't look down on that, so I'm sorry.
Now, Taylor needs to not be backing down like this. This is a bad move. Taylor should let her fucking have it. How dare you? For some reason, I'll never understand. Nobody understands. I hurt your feelings, and I guess I'm sorry. You hurt her feelings because you're a condescending fucking asshole, Heather. That's why you hurt her feelings. But Taylor's just determined to make up with her, so she's like, well, I hurt yours too, and I'm sorry too. And listen, I learned a lot from both you and Lauren at the acting class. And listen, some people are on sitcoms, and some people have had zillions of hits, literally, as a cat meme. And so I'm happy for you, and I'm happy for me too, because I'm bigger than you'll ever be, always.
And I was like, oh, speaking of Lauren, I invited her today. Well, it was more of an accident. It was more like I was sending her a prank text saying, like, I saw you in Pretty Woman and you were terrible. And then I had my name on it by accident. So I had to be like, haha, just a joke. Come on the Duffy today. So anyway, Lauren is coming. And then she's so nice. She is so nice. I mean, I didn't really ever speak with her before, but I invited her anyway. It didn't really make sense. But anyway, oh God, I hope that you take away that from our time together is that we had a great, great afternoon.
This is such a ripoff. I cannot believe they fooled us with this Lauren as an acting coach thing when this was an intro to a new friend of. I feel so tricked. And also, I think it's funny that this innocent little scene, they were just trying to introduce a new friend of, and it turned out to be a big fight between Taylor and Heather because Heather couldn't help but be a condescending asshole about it.
This is also such a tenuous friend of to do. Like the acting coach from like a completely contrived storyline. Why on earth would Heather invite the acting coach to come on the Duffy? That does not make any sense.
But it also makes so much more sense. Like her appearance on it, how she was like, "Oh, it's like you give blowjobs." I was like, "Who says that?"
Yeah.
New housewives.
New
80% do that right in their first episode, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe 80% is an inflated number. I don't know. But a lot. It's happened a lot. Okay, so the producer Taylor says, "I apologize as well." Well, Heather never apologized, right? But Taylor just decides to phrase it like that so that she can take an apology. And the producer asks Heather if she is sorry. And Heather's like, let me squeeze the bottom of my chin tinily. Well, I think that Taylor is sorry that she started all of this in the first place. That's all I can say. What I'm really hoping for is that this time at dinner, we make it through to the entree.
It's like I told Paul Sorvino on the broadcast television show we both starred in, "Don't fuck with me." Anyway, so Shannon arrives with Tamra and she's like,
Ahoy! Oh, well, this is fun.
and Tamra's like, "Who's driving the Duffy, bitch?" And Shannon's like,
Well, I'm not going to drive. I mean, you guys, I crashed into a boat once when I was, it wasn't my fault, but I basically was like, iceberg straight ahead, iceberg lettuce, because it had fallen over, and then next thing I know, I crashed.
I actually crashed the boat into a jar of mayonnaise that had fallen into the ocean because John put it on the wrong shelf. So that was something. I'm sorry. The insurance paid for the mayonnaise, which was helpful. I'd like to thank Jake at State Farm for that.
I saw this white thing bobbing in the water, and I thought it was David's head. And I'm not saying I was trying to decapitate him in a murderous rage, but needless to say, I think it worked out for the best. It was only a jar of mayonnaise.
So Lauren comes and she meets everybody, and Heather tells her, "Oh, Lauren, I have vodka, tequila, and champagne." And Lauren goes, "Yes."
and that is the last time that anyone says anything to Lauren the entire episode.
Pretty much. So then Emily and Gina come down the dock, and Gina has these huge pink platforms and an orange dress, a bright orange dress. You guys just throw her over, okay? You have the chance.
And she is ready for the Drag Race finale this week because she looks like she is ready to lip sync for her life right now. Like, what drag queen took Gina under their wing and did her makeup today?
My God. So Heather is like, "Oh my God, look, I have champagne. Look, I have champagne." And then Tamra sees something on the table that she starts unwrapping. What is it?
She actually has like tinfoil, because of course Tamra has tinfoil like that. I think they're maybe there's some snacks on the boat. Either way, Tamra has tinfoil, and the tinfoil knocks over the champagne onto her lap.
Heather knocks it.
No, it was
Heather
Tamra.
holds the glass over, and then they show slow-mo, and Heather's holding the glass like right in front of Tamra, and then Tamra's opening the thing, and then no, what happened?
No, the tinfoil. Tamra was talking, and her tinfoil knocked over the glass. Heather was holding the glass nearby, so it looked like Heather did it. But the tinfoil knocked over the champagne.
Tinfoil hat conspiracy. So
Yes.
then they're driven, and Heather's like, "We'll be at the Nobu dock soon." Yes, Heather, say Nobu again, please.
So then the
Very
Duffy.
impressed. Okay, Heather.
So the Duffy is off. They're off in the Duffy, and so they are like going on. The Duffy kind of reminds me of like, what are those carts you have when you're a kid? It's like a red car with like a yellow roof, and you sort of like putter around in it as a kid.
Oh yeah.
It's like a boat version of that.
Oh yeah.
And Lauren's talking about how she's been coaching Taylor for the movie, and Emily's like, "Oh, by the way, everyone, I'm gonna have a pool party next week." And Shannon goes,
What do you mean a pool party? I mean, I don't know if you realize we're doing a Nobu dinner right now. We're trying to elevate our experiences here this season. Come on now.
And Tamara's like, "What do you mean a cover-up party? Because these bitches are getting a bed that sets my shit in her." And then a fish jumps in the background, and Gina's like, "Oh my God, what the fuck was that?" And someone's like, "It was a shark, Gina." She goes, "A shark?
Oh my God. Oh my God, this is a shock. We're all gonna die.
They're called fish, Gina. Okay. And Gina goes, good one, Shannon. It's like, you're the idiot. What are you mad at Shannon for? So then another Puffy Duffy passes with balloons all over it. And Tamara's like, oh my God, the second medal. Puffin.
And then Shannon's like, well, everyone, as long as we're on this Duffy ride, I just would like to point out that John lives under that bridge.
And Emily goes, is he a troll?
Well, I didn't really appreciate that. I mean, you're the one married to Shane. I guess we could leave some things unspoken.
And Tamara goes, hey, Seven, put down your skirt. Put it down. She goes, oh, no, those are Spanx. Those are always going to be there. Okay. It's like you telling me to hide my kneecaps. Okay, I've got kneecaps.
And then the Duffy just careens into the dock. I was like, is Captain Glenn driving this thing?
I know. It's a toss-up between Captain Glenn and Captain Jason.
I know, one of them.
So they get to Nobu, and of course Heather walks into the restaurant like, hello, guys. Hi, everyone.
Guys. Hi, everyone. Hi. Hello, I'm back. I'm hi. You're welcome.
It's me, television's Heather Dupro. Did Reba ask for me? Okay.
Wow. Can we put on the AC? It's almost as hot as Cleveland in here. Wow. So Heather's like, you guys, I'm taking a red eye tonight to go see Max in Boston, and she's having a bit of a tough time. And so I thought, I'd buy her a card, and if you guys wouldn't mind, could you just all write something like, hey, you'll get through this. She doesn't know who all of you are, really any of you, who doesn't even care. And it is kind of strange to have a whole bunch of mom friends writing a card to a kid in college who she doesn't know, but I thought it'd be nice anyway, so I can inject some personality into the scene.
What a thoughtful gift for your depressed daughter. A card from all of her mother's friends because she has none of her own. Like, that's sad. This is just going to be worse for her, okay? Don't do it.
Do we really want Gina to be writing something in that card? Like,
It gets better. Look at where I am.
Live, laugh, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I'm making it my own. I'm going to sell it through Caragala. So Heather has made them chopsticks with their name on it, silver chopsticks, real silver, and she's given them a candle,
a Tom Ford candle.
And Tamara goes, I gotta have this. It's a Tom Ford candle.
Now, I don't want a candle. But I also, if I receive a candle that I already have, I'm not going to be like, I already have this.
Who does that? It's so rude. I mean, now you have a gift to give to somebody else. Like, it just saved you time at Christmas. Like, stop being an asshole.
And then Gina's like,
oh my God, like, how did she get on names on silver chopsticks so fast? I didn't even unpack from Montana.
I'm like, it's called planning ahead. It's really not that hard to do, especially when you're wealthy.
You don't have to pack. You live in a place literally as big as your suitcase. You've probably just opened it up and been watching Netflix from it. So then Heather's like, oh, and the little message on the outside of the candles, it says in Japanese, too fabulous to shovel shit. It's like, okay, first of all, stop trying to
make this a thing.
Make this a thing on your own. It's not a thing. Okay. And second of all, way to just throw away the whole, wow, look at me, understanding how the other half lives finally. You're like, too fabulous to do anything a real person would do.
I know, like, way to make the people who actually have to do that for their job feel like shit. So Emily is like, she's like, oh, I don't know anyone more unaware of being unaware. Oh. So then Tamra is telling Jen, she's like, hey, Jen, I've been drinking tequila all day, but you better catch up. Catch up, Jen, before I yell at you. So she's like, I need to see fun, Jen. And Jen's like, I need to see her too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for bringing that up.
You want to know Fun Jen? I do too. Thank you for inviting Fun Jen. She's coming, Tamara. She accepts. RSVP, yes. God, and grateful. Do you have a check mark on that invitation that says grateful? I would love to check that. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you.
So Emily already knows the answer to her own question, but she goes, so what's the main thing I missed in Montana? And Heather goes, let's talk about the fun things, not the terrible things like Shannon and Tamara being a clique and excluding me. Fun things only.
Jen, how are you with Gina? And Jen's like, well, we had a real talk, and we said that going forward, we're going to be real together because we're on this world not only as friends, but as sisters in a way, soul sisters. So we're in a soul car, and we're going down a soul freeway together. And if we ever need to talk about something, we're going to pull over into the soul rest stop. Isn't that right, Gina? Gina, thank you for nodding. Thank you.
Tamra's like, well, if you know someone's past, then you know where they're going in the future, batch. And Heather's like,
oh, really? You're trying to reintroduce Ryan onto this show.
I know.
Go fuck yourself. Yeah, I see his future. There's bars in front of it. Okay, get him the fuck out of here.
So Heather's like, she's like, but it's okay to evolve. You know, you can hit a reset button and you can be a new version of you, or at least have a new face. And I'm like, no, you can't do that, Heather. So Gina's like,
this is typical Heather. She like knows that I'm pissed. She knows I'm like a hot New Yorker, and she knows I'm coming to say things that I have to say.
like, honestly, I think this has nothing to do with you, Gina. This is such classic Gina that she makes everything about her. I'm not trying to defend Heather. I'm just trying to show how self-involved Gina is.
And Emily's like, yeah, because I want to know Jen. And I think that knowing about her past and like what she's going through and what she's gone through in the past is important. And Tamra's like,
oh, yeah? Well, I think you knew a little bit about her past. Because you know what, Jen? Just be honest. I told you a million times, Jen.
And Shannon's like, well, to be fair to Jen, Tamra, she had a lot of information coming at her that she had never heard before, right, Jen? And Jen's like, yeah, I'd never heard anything. Thank you, Shannon, for saying that. And Emily's like what? And Shannon says, well, penis pictures? I'm not laughing. It's because I said penis. I can't say penis without laughing. I'm doing it again.
Emily's like, oh, yeah, I heard about the dick pic. I heard about it. It's like, Emily, you know everything. You know everything. Because, of course, there's a flashback of Shannon telling Emily about the dick pic. And then Emily's like, do you worry that there might be red flags in this relationship and you're overlooking them because you want it to work out? And Jen's like, no, thank you so much for that question. I'm not worried about red flags. But if Ryan fucks up, I'm not going to sweep it under a rug. You know why? We have hardwood floors.
And Tamra's like,
but hasn't he already fucked it up? That's like, hasn't he already? Like, what do you mean gonna fuck it up?
and Jen goes, not with me. No, he hasn't. And Tamra just rolls her eyes really big. And then we see a clip of in the hat store where they were all buying their knockoff Kimosabi hats to go to Montana. And Heather clarifying, so you were on a break like Ross and Rachel from Friends. And then he fooled around with somebody while you were on a break. Is that what you're saying? So,
like Third Rock from the Sun.
I'm just going to keep naming sitcoms until you ask me if I'm the girl from the Jenny McCarthy show.
May I give you some advice, like Frasier? Listen, I don't want to relitigate this as if we're on night court, okay? He screwed around behind your back. So Tamra's like...
So basically, this is a town where everybody knows his penis. Oh my God, I just saw that flashback. She said penis. I just said it again.
I worry for you, Batch, 1,000%. I feel like you left your entire world for a player.
And Jen's like, no, I didn't leave my world for Ryan. You know, for 19 years, no one even noticed me. And Tamra goes,
you didn't tell anybody.
So Shannon goes,
well, I mean, Tamra, hello, Tamra. A lot of times when things are bad, you don't want people to know that. So you put on a happy face and you just smile until you trip over a jar of mayonnaise that fell out of the fridge for the 5th time in 10 minutes.
I understand that.
I was like, do you? I've literally never seen you put on a happy face, but okay. And Emily says, yeah, but you don't think he's going to be loyal to her for the rest of her life. Is that what you're saying, right? She's
I know. And it hurts, Shannon. It hurts to know about it.
And Jen's like, yeah, well, it really hurts that you choose to air all of my shit to new friends of mine because, and you know what? That's really hurtful. That's hurtful to my soul, Tamra. She's like,
that wasn't me. That wasn't me, Jen. That wasn't me.
Yes, it was you. What are you talking about? You walked right, you brought her on the show, and then you immediately told everybody her husband is a cheating dirtbag. And then when that didn't work for you, you said that he wanted to fuck you. You are the the worst.
Yeah, and she's like,
Listen, we come from a small town. Try that in a small town, bitch. Okay, everyone knows that he's a fucking whore.
and Emily's like, oh, I did hear that. Yeah, Fisker actually barked it to me. And Tamra's like,
Well, he walked into my fucking gym and he said he wanted to fuck me.
and Jen's like, Tamra, we're not going to have that conversation again. Okay, namaste.
Oh, why not?
And she tells us, Tamra said she was going to show up on our friendship, and this is not how you show up. I'm sorry, but I do not have one single friend that talks this way. And Tamra's like,
Oh, really? You know that party? Remember that party? And Brian was there, and Eddie was there. Well, one of Ryan's friends walked up to Eddie, and he said, watch your wife, because Ryan likes to go for married women.
and Jen's like, oh, really? You want to talk about that party and how you and I were on the phone that day? You want to talk about that, Tamra? Tamra, I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing it, young lady. I am not doing it, young lady. We're turning around. We're going right back to the home. Is that where you want to go?
I'm turning around this Duffy right this moment. So Tamra's like,
Do it with me. I've had nothing to hide. I knew back then you had the hots for him.
and then
and who else had the hots for him? Who else, Tamra? Who else had the hots for him that day, Tamra?
Tamra goes,
Not me, sweetie, if that's what you were trying to insinuate, not me.
which by the way, like Jen wasn't necessarily insinuating that, but Tamra certainly with the guilty conscience chimed in with that.
And she goes, you better watch it, Tamra. She's
Watch it! Watch it! Are you telling me to watch it? Are you telling me? To watch it?
she like gets up and gets right in her face and starts screaming in her face and then throws her napkin at Jen's face. And then she's like,
You want me to fucking watch it? You talking to me? You talking to me? I have the hots for him. Is that what you said? You should fucking leave your boyfriend here, you bitch, you fucking bitch.
and then she runs away because that's what Tamra does whenever Tamra is wrong and being called out.
Yep. She
Which
runs away.
We all know she's a fucking liar, but this is so funny. She just runs out screaming through Nobu, this classy restaurant. She's like,
Fuck yeah!
I know. And Shannon's going,
Stop, 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 stop.
and then she runs after her. So she
Tamra, stop. Stop, Tamra, stop. I'm done. Bye, bitches.
So back at the table, Gina's like, oh my God, I can't anymore with her. I can't. And Lauren's like, is she always like this? My God. And they're like, yeah. So Heather says, I've seen this kind of behavior from Tamra before. And honestly, I just don't want it directed at me. Okay, which we know, Heather. So then she's like, so, by the way, we're new friends of yours, Jen, and we just want to make sure you're okay. But if you want to say something, now's the time to say something about Tamra. Bring it out right now. Do it.
Yeah, say it. Say everything right now. She's not here. You can say it. It's safe.
And Heather's like, she'll be very vocal about you, so you should really, say something, talk shit. Come on, talk. It'll be fun. Say some shit. Do it. Spill the beans.
And Jen's like, well, what she just did to me, that was really fucked up. And I will say that. That is the tea I will give you. I feel that was fucked up. And they're looking at her like, girl, this is your big moment. Okay. Are you going to be on this show and drop something about Tamra? Because everyone knows there's got to be stuff about Tamra. I mean, yeah. Tamra in the OC, there's got to be some swinging or threesomes or, come on. There just has to be. It's Tamra and Eddie in the OC. Jenna has got to have some shit on Tamra.
Yeah, so out on the sidewalk, Shannon runs out to the sidewalk, like,
Tamra,
and then she sees Tamra, she's like,
oh, thank God, there you are. Oh, God, Tamra, are you okay?
And Tamra's like,
I'm not entertaining her bullshit. She's dating a douchebag. To say that I was hitting on him, she goes, well, is that really what she was saying? No, yes, he's this fucking tall. Why would I ever hit on him?
like he's the same height as Eddie.
So then, is he? Is Eddie short?
Eddie has short energy to me.
So Emily's back to the table. Emily's like, are you saying that Tamra has the hots for Ryan? And Jen's like, I'm not covering anything, listen, I'm not covering anything up for her. I'm just like, listen, I don't need to cover anything up for her. So maybe why am I? Maybe I shouldn't cover anything up for her. And Heather's just sipping and looking at Gina like, we're about to get Tamra. And Jen's like, what I will say, and they all stop and look at her. She's like, there was a lot of joking about how Ryan was, and now or how hot Ryan was, and now she's offended when she said the same things about Ryan. I mean, that's a two-way street. So I'm not really sure what she's upset about.
And then Jen tells us, here's the real story. She goes, there was a barbecue. Tamra and Eddie went to Ryan's house, and Tamra called me from there, and she said, come over. I'm at Hot Gym Guy's house. And then she jokes and says, should I go up to his bedroom and take one for the team? It was funny. I mean, does that mean that, like, she doesn't love Eddie? No. Does it mean she's a slut? Yes. But now, 2-3 years later, you're suddenly uncomfortable? It doesn't even make sense. You don't get to do that. It's not fair.
Okay. So, she's
not the
saying
amazing tea I was hoping. I would have to say.
So she thought the guy was hot. I mean, I don't really care, but I guess she's saying, I don't know what this has to do with the friend coming up and telling Eddie, watch out for that guy because he fucks married women. I don't really get how that's the same level of.
That's not, but basically she's saying, like, you know what, Tamra, you have to chill out because you keep on making a big thing over the fact that Ryan said I'm gonna fuck her when you also made like sort of a similar joke about Ryan. So
or like it was just a joke at that party, like someone was joking at that party going, hey, you better watch out for your wife, that guy loves married women.
Yeah.
And she's like, people were being fun and flirty at that party, and now Tamra's trying to act like it was some,
because, by the way, I actually do not believe for a second that someone went up to Eddie and was like, Sir Eddie, this is really important. Ryan goes after married women. You have to watch out. Yeah, of course it was a joke. Of course someone went up and joked because Ryan is with Jen and Jen was married. Like, ridiculous.
Yes, and so now she's acting like it's a big scandal, which is so Tamra, So outside, Tamra's still fuming that this girl stood up to her. She's like,
Oh my God, he's a player. He's a fucking player. Could you imagine if David was cheating on you back then? I knew about it and I didn't say anything to you.
And Shannon's like,
didn't that happen?
Did she know?
Wasn't that or did Tamra tell her? Never mind. I can't even go back that many years because I can't remember myself. Continue.
Didn't someone say so? I don't know.
In Shannon's first wasn't. I can't. Go on.
I remember that the big thing being that Vicky knew that David had gotten abusive, like they had a crazy abusive night or something, and Vicky brought it up, and she wasn't supposed to bring it up on camera. I remember that, but I don't remember the cheating stuff.
I feel like there's a good chance that if you went back to the early seasons of Shannon Medora, probably even her first one, there's probably a scene of Tamra gossiping and saying, yeah, well, you don't know what I've heard about David Medora. Like, I guarantee that scene is there.
So I don't doubt it. So Shannon's like,
well, I'm just wondering, we're at a table and we're telling this woman that he's not into you and he doesn't love you and you're just an idiot and it reminds me of John. What if that happened with John? That would hurt me. And Tamara's like, whatever, bitch.
It's like, Tamra doesn't care. She's like,
I'm going inside and screaming a lot and getting tequila.
Like she's
Shannon's clearly going through something because there's no reason why saying that should make you cry. And the fact that Shannon is like starting to sob as she says, like, it makes me think of John. And what if someone said that about John? And Tamra's like, whatever.
Yeah, she just ignores her, and so she's just left there crying. So she follows her back in. It's like, okay, I'll do shots too. So then Jen's saying she's not really okay. And then we see Tamra and Shannon going through the restaurant. And Tamra goes,
I saw his wiener. It was very small, I'll tell you that.
And Shannon's like, well, that was when it's limp. So if you got that dick pic, that is why. And the sushi chef's like, ha, 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 ha.
Shannon goes,
You know what? Jen may be an idiot. I mean, I'm pretty sure she is one, let's be honest. But let her figure that out on her own. Because for me, something that I've wanted my entire life is to be in a partnership. And to have people say that we don't know if this guy is part of your team, that he is intentionally keeping the mayo on the tip of the shelf to gaslight you. I mean, I can't imagine something more crushing, except for, of course, my toe being crushed under the weight of a mayonnaise jar falling on it.
So Jen back at the table is like, I don't even believe this comment that Ryan walked in and said he wanted to fuck her. Like, what? That doesn't even make sense. And Heather's like, well, she has heard it from more than one person. Says who? Says fucking Tamra. I mean, give me a break. And Jen just stares at Heather like, I'll deal with you later, Because I think Jen's going to be a force in the future. I have a feeling.
So Emily is like, well, Tamra is the one who says things about your relationship, but then you defend her yourself when she gets pissed, or you have to defend yourself. And she says, like, I mean, how many napkins have to like smack you in the face before you actually say something negative about Tamra? It's clearly more than one. Like, talk shit, for crying out loud, talk shit.
And Tamra's at the bar banging on it, going,
I need a Xanax.
She's so extra and is full of people. She's so classless.
Shannon is mortified. You see her face. She's like,
I don't know this woman. I have no idea. And Tamra's like, I'm ready to lose my shit.
and then she chose to a guy and she goes,
I hope you get some snatch tonight. Tamra, he may be married. I don't know her. I don't know this lady at all.
So then back at the table, they're now on Heather. And they're like, Gina's like, yeah, you all defend her. And Emily says, I don't, but Heather does. Yeah, Heather, you're the one with a phony relationship with Tamra. She says, I do not have a phony relationship with Tamra. And she's like, yes, you do. It's the fakest fucking thing I've ever seen. And I spent all last year sitting across from you at Javier's, having conversations with you. And now you act like you're best fucking friends with her. So fucking phony. And it hurts my feelings.
well, okay, but we did have a period of time where we were apart. And Emily's like, I think that Heather is afraid of Tamra because she can be very nasty and no one wants to go through that. And as soon as Tamra came back around, Heather wasn't interested anymore in me. So then basically Emily's like, yeah, she needs a change of address form and she needs to put Tamra's ass. Because that's where she lives now.
So then Gina's like, yeah, and I'm questioning whether our friendship is authentic or not. Because I'm upset. I really feel like we are friends. And Heather's like, oh, me too. Me too. Listen, I don't bring bags of Max's old clothes to just anybody. You know, I don't have Alfredo pack up all of the recycling bins and drop them off at just anybody's curbs.
I did a fundraiser for you. I had all my servants donate their favorite pieces of Tupperware, and I dropped them at your stoop. I mean, what sort of friendship is that if that's not real?
So Gina's like,
yeah, but then in Montana, you guys were talking shit about, those guys were talking shit about your career.
and Heather goes, yeah, well, I was very stressed then. And Gina's like,
Yeah, but then I came to you to tell you, to talk to you about it.
and she goes, well, listen, I hear what you're saying, but let me talk. I'm like, you're not letting her talk. That's so funny.
Yeah.
She's like, I hear you. I hear you. That's how you interrupt somebody. I hear you. Shut up. I hear you. Now, like, if someone were talking about Emily's law career, right, Emily? Like, let's just say that.
Emily's like, which Tamra has done. Right. And maybe you had your kids and gone in a different direction and you had to turn down several deals from CBS and potentially Tubi, you know, and that's just where you are in life, okay? And Gina's like,
Yeah, but like, I come to you as a friend to tell you, like, to open your goddamn eyes and you sell me out?
she goes, no, I just asked her. She said she didn't do it. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm with Gina on that point. We don't need to relitigate it. I just had to put it out there. And Heather, I'd not go run and tattletale to get brownie points from the prison's large march, but I already said that. So Gina's like, well,
You're supposed to trust your friend's instincts.
Not trusting
who the
Gina's
fuck is going to
instincts.
trust Gina's instincts? I don't think you... What are you talking about?
You look like you just got a free makeover from 3 different counters at Bloomingdale's and didn't wipe any of them off, okay? Not
Also,
trusting your instincts.
Speaking of instincts and Bloomingdale's, is Tamra in the same outfit she was at the Pink Flamingo party? Why is she wearing that? I'm confused by this
Probably.
whole episode. Okay, so then Heather's like, I hear you. I hear, and so does the rest of the restaurant, actually. Because you're all very loud. Okay. So Gina's like,
Yeah, and now I'm going back and I'm logging stuff throughout our career and I'm looking back and I'm like, is she my real friend or not?
oh my God, you are the biggest betrayer. You
I
are
know.
the worst.
When you're logging that stuff, are you using the beautiful pad that I bought you when I gave you all those clothes? Okay, just want to make sure. So then Tamra and Shannon come back, and Gina's like,
Honestly, I'm like really upset because I feel like you're like just trying to like manage the relationship between Tamra and Shannon or like whatever. And Shannon's like, oh, wow. Well, I guess we just walked into this now. Great. Oh, it's like walking into a refrigerator and 3 bottles fall out. Surprise.
Well, I feel like I feel you, and I'm sorry, but you may want to understand what I've been going through. I've had some personal issues that may have coincided with the same time period that you may want to consider. Like the fact that I had to tell people to put things in boxes for my children. Or...
it was a very emotional time. We caught a maid going down into the Richard Marx area, and they're not allowed down there. It's very emotional. So Gina's like, but then lean on the people you should lean on. I'm like, she was trying to. You weren't responding to her text messages, you dum-dum.
Yeah, you proved not to be her friend. You proved that you didn't want to be her friend anymore. So, like, you can't be surprised when someone flips on you, even though Heather is a tattletale.
Yeah. So Tamra's like,
Okay, I'm quite angry. Jen, I am livid. I'm telling you that right now. I am livid. I'm sorry for throwing a napkin in your face. I wish it were a pit of fire on your face instead. I'm fucking livid.
Tamra cannot let anybody else have attention for 1 second. It's so funny. And Shannon's like, oh,
No more convo. No more convo.
They're going after Heather. Quiet. They're going after Heather. Just watch and enjoy.
and Jen tells us, this is bullshit. Tamra can take her mess back. She can take her napkin back, and then she can go clean up her own mess. And throws the napkin at the camera.
Honestly, good throw. Good throw. She landed that napkin right on the lens. Great work. So Jeannie goes,
You know what, though? It's like the little things. Like when I first told you I was like going to get a real estate license, you were like so excited, but you also like brought up Nikki.
which is a fair complaint. When Heather was
like,
oh my God.
It diminishes her as an adult.
Because he's 18. He's like a fabulous 18, but he's still an 18-year-old kid, Heather.
Okay, but you're also poor with no connections. So letting Nikki, who's got all of his parents' connections, help you is actually a decent offer, I say. I mean, yes, it is condescending, but shut the fuck up and don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take his runoff.
I hear what you're saying, and I am sorry if I made you feel diminished. I thought that was something you enjoyed in life by the way you moved into your small, diminished house. So anyway, I'm going to take back this gift I got from you. It's a sign from Marshall's that says diminished. Apparently, you would not like that.
And also the Travis stuff hurt my feelings.
Oh my God. Seriously? She's got like a whole fucking book of a list.
She's logging. She's logging.
Logging. Now there's a career you could go into.
I took it too far, and I thought I was being helpful, and I crossed a line with it. I apologize. Don't know what I'm apologizing for, but I'm just going to say this because I know it'll shut you up.
Now, look, my first thought was, wow, Heather's really grown that she can just say, I'll work on that. Heather is, I don't believe it. I think Heather's going to come. She's going to do something to get Gina back now. And basically, what was I going to say about stupid Heather? Basically, Heather sees what's happening. She's not new on this show, okay? She sees that the whole table just came for her, and she's like, okay, they're going to come for me now. So she's going to go into massive planning mode. And I look forward to seeing what happens the rest of the season because she's not going to take this shit lying down.
Mm-mm. So Heather's like, I hear you. I will fix this. I will probably never speak to you again, Gina. Let's be honest. So
my
Gina's
God.
like,
Terry just texted me. Shannon.
Shannon.
What happened? Is it the children? Is it John? Is it the Duffy? Did the Duffy sink? Oh my God, the Duffy
Heather's
sank.
backup is to go for fucking make it about Shannon, who she still hates and will never forget. This is so Heather right now. Whoops, I just happened to get something to move all of this onto Shannon's miserable life. Shannon, Terry just texted me that David is getting a divorce.
Thank you so much. Oh, okay. Oh, I was very alarmed, but now I have a big smile on my face. I mean, I am so sad for David. The smile is how I express my extreme grief for him and his relationship.
I know he's getting a divorce. Why do you think I'm wearing the red dress I bought to wear to his funeral?
Yeah, well, she actually already left. Yeah, isn't that hilarious? Wow, it's funny. Yeah, he's getting a divorce. And you know what's funny? It's happening on our anniversary day. Wow, here lies Shambador, killed by coincidences. Oh, wow.
So she doesn't love this because now this is just going to be this lady who's now got a baby cutting into the finances for her kids, which she's right. This lady's an absolute nut job. Anybody who's seen her on El Internet. And David, digging his own grave over there as usual. So she leaves the table to call the kids and
Get all the silverware out of that house. Take everything that's worth anything. Take the televisions off of the wall and bring them to me.
And Taylor is like, oh, wow, this black cod is amazing. We finally get to eat.
Yeah, I feel like the waiters are too afraid to come over to the table. I'm starving. And Lauren's like, well, this is fun. Like, oh, I'm sorry, Lauren, you failed your audition. It was great meeting you. Goodbye.
So they laugh because they finally made it through a Nobu dinner, even to the Wagyu. And then they light the Wagyu on fire and they laugh and laugh. Fun episode.
Oh my God, it was so good. And next week, it is the return of Vicky Gunvalson.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, everybody. We sure love you. Thanks for being with us this week. We've got Welcome to Crappy Lake. One came out yesterday. Another one's going to come out tomorrow. And then we'll be back next week. We sure love you guys. Thanks for everybody on Patreon watching these videos and listening to bonuses and all that. We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors.
Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie, she's always supplying. It's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg. Ruru LaRue.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Nancy Cease and Desisto.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at